Welcome to my curly clipping series, part 1, clipping and maintenance wash day. In this video, I will showing you how I wash and prep my clip-ins from a dry and unmanageable bush to hydrated and full of life. So to see how I get to this point, which is part 3, you should just keep on watching. So grab your clip-ins. I always keep mine in my satin bag, and it honestly does kind of help a little bit, but these clip-ins have not been touched in about maybe 2 months. So you see what I'm working with here. I will be using coconut milk shampoo and conditioner, as well as my Garnier Fructis. I did not use the Shea Moisture Co-Wash because I did use my coconut milk as my shampoo. I normally always cut layers in my clip-ins, which is why I have them in like these 3 bundled sections. I still have 10 clip-ins here, but I'm just showing you guys how I keep them kind of pre-sectioned, so when I get ready to reinstall them, I kind of know which ones to put where. And you guys saw how those clip-ins looked, right? Very dry, very bushy. It looked very tangly, right? That's because I have not touched or nourished this hair in about 2 months. But once I do get it to that point, you guys will see just how lively and fresh the curls will be popping. So here, all I did wet my hair, and I'm going in with a little bit of shampoo. Now, I only using shampoo because I know this hair has a little bit of product buildup. It hasn't been touched in 2 months. I normally would not shampoo my clip-ins. I recommend co-wash or using conditioner to wash, because shampoo can dry your hair out if you do not double back with conditioning it properly. But I'm just going to be running that through the hair, and then I will go in with my conditioner next. Now, once I do my first round of conditioner, I do try to see how the curls are formed. I will try to start finger detangling at this point, but if I see the curls are not loose enough or ready to be detangled, I will not force it. As you can see, I'm just pulling my fingers through it, adding a little more conditioner when needed, and then I'm going to repeat the process. A little later on, I will be finger detangling the hair when I go in with my second round of conditioner, but for now I'm just getting like the little tangles that I can out, and then I'll save the rest for later. I do believe finger detangling helps with less shedding. Now, your curly hair will shed. I will keep saying this in every single video I post. Curly hair will shed, but it won't shed as much if you do not use tools like brushes to detangle them as much. I only use them when needed, and when I know that the curls are loose enough to not be snagging and pulling on itself. So here is the second section hair, and I'm just going to fast forward through this part as I'm repeating the same process. So here are all the 3 of my sections of my 10 clip-ins, and I've been letting them sit in that coconut milk conditioner, and I'm just going to grab a plastic bag and just let them sit in deep condition for about 30 minutes. And then after that, I will rinse them out and then go into my second round of conditioning using my Garnier Fructis. So here, I just want to show you guys the difference between a paddle brush and a denim brush. But first, make sure it is cleaned out properly, because we are working with freshly washed hair. We don't want to have that product buildup and that gunk in our freshly washed hair. But honestly, with your curls, a paddle brush and a denim brush do give similar curls, but they are a bit different. I use my paddle brush when I want to detangle or a wide tooth comb, and I use my denim brush when I want like those spiral juicy curls. I'm gonna use my denim brush. But here I am just rinsing out that conditioner, and I'm getting ready to add my Garnier Fructis into these sectioned hairs so I can actually detangle now using my paddle brush. So at this point, the hair has loosened up quite a lot, and I am able to go in with my paddle brush. If your curls are not yet loose like this here, I recommend that you go back to finger detangling. That will make sure that you're not getting excessive shedding and too many like kinks and things of that nature. So once I do that, I'm just simply going to rinse it out. I'm going to go through the hair one more time with my conditioner to show you guys how I would use a wide tooth comb to detangle. Always start from the tips of the hair and then work your way up to the root of the clip-ins. Even if you need to hold it like this here and just work that through the clip-in. I did notice that using a wide tooth comb is actually a little more of a pull on the hair, so I will show you guys the shedding that I get from this. But if I would have took my time a little more, I don't think it would have shed or pulled out. But if you do not have a paddle brush, a wide tooth comb does work, but just know combs typically pull a little more on your clip-ins. But now you see I can go in with my paddle brush and it's going through very smoothly. This is an indication that I know the hair is getting nourished, and that when I get ready to prep for styling, it won't be frizzy or have any like kinks or bushes. At this step, I do take loose the sections and work that water through the root of the clip-in, just to make sure that the product is rinsing out properly. So here's the step where I use my Denman brush. I'm going in with my curl enhancing smoothie and I'm getting ready to actually prep the hair for styling. With the hair taken out of the sections, I go in with each clip-in and I put a little of the curl enhancing smoothie on it, and I take the Denman brush and rake it through so I can make sure it's evenly distributed through every strand. I do not use a lot, only a dime size amount. I also will be going in with my foam wrap, and honestly I just like how it has the curls. It just keeps them so crunchy, like in the defined state once it dries. I just love this as my 1-2 punch combo when I get ready to define my curls. So here are all 10 pieces of my clip-ins defined and ready to be air dried. Yes, I do let my clip-ins air dry. I've honestly never used a diffuser because I don't have one. I feel like that would work just as fine, but I don't like to install my clip-ins wet. Damp, yes, but never wet. So I would just be putting that to the side. I did individually let them hang up. Here is how the hair looks about 90% dry. I actually go in with either my coconut milk or my Garnier Fructis serums and I scrunch that through. I do not rake it through. I do not pull it to not have the curls crunchy, and it leaves them very soft, smelling good. At this point, that is it for part 1. Please stay tuned for part 2 to see how I break down my hair and get it ready for clip-in installation. So see you guys in part 2.